Bonjour à tous, je suis très content de vous retrouver. Comme vous le voyez, aujourd'hui, je suis encore une fois bien accompagné. C'est le moment et c'est le retour des interviews et j'ai le plaisir de pouvoir interviewer Jahvon Blair, l'arrière américain du Poitiers Basket 86. Hi Jahvon, it is a real pleasure to meet you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for agreeing to do this interview, to get to discover you as a player, but also as a person. How are you?
I'm great. How you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, Jahvon, we're going to start by more talking about your career. Can you tell me in the first place why and when did you start playing basketball?
Started playing basketball around the age of like 4 years old. Started playing on a real team at around 6. Um, my my mom's friend put me in a little basketball league back home in Canada. I just been playing ever since. During the winter, I would play basketball, and summertime, I would play soccer every year from like 5 years old till about, I want to say 9. And then one day, my mom came to me and she's like, "Look, you have to pick one. It's either you stick with basketball or stick with soccer." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll stick with basketball." And I kind of just fell in love with it more because I was playing it more. So yeah, ever since then, I've just been rolling with it.
Okay. When did you figure it out that maybe someday you could become a professional basketball player?
That's a good question. I want to say I thought about that. I knew I was pretty good the sixth, seventh grade.
Okay.
I was a good shooter, and I was like, okay, maybe I can actually do something with this game. And then that's when I honestly started to take it a little bit more serious. And that's when I started to go on my first like basketball trips to play guys in the States and stuff like that. So I knew I was taking it a little bit more serious. So that's when I started to personally take it more serious, if that makes sense.
Okay. When you grew up, um, did you have any, are there any players that were inspirations for you, maybe for their games, for their moves, or maybe for their personalities?
Yeah, I used to watch James Harden. I still do. I'm a lefty, by the way, side note. So that's why I kind of
Mhm.
idol my game after him. D'Angelo Russell, when he was in college, I used to watch him too. Another lefty. Um, those are probably the only two that really stood out to me back then, where I really try to model my like game after. So those are the two main guys.
Okay, NBA players mostly.
Yeah,
No,
NBA players. Yeah.
No European players as inspirations, not yet, maybe.
Not yet, but I will say since I've been here in France, I'm starting to watch more Euroleague games and stuff because obviously the like time change is a little bit off, so I don't have any chance to watch NBA games. Because by the time I really want to sit down and watch it, it's about 1 a.m. I have to go to sleep. So Euroleague games here start at about 7, 8. So this is my first year where I can say I'm starting to watch it, and I'm starting to notice a few names like the Mike James, Kendrick Nuns, and stuff like that. So I've been keeping tabs.
Okay, so what teams do you like to watch in Euroleague?
um, if I'm saying it correctly,
Monaco, yeah, yeah.
Monaco,
Mike James.
Panathinaikos, Olympiacos. Um, those are probably Real Madrid, Barcelona. Those are probably the Paris.
We will talk about that, I think, a bit later, also in the interview.
Okay.
So now let's get back to your career. You played in college in NCAA, but just before that, you played for your country, Canada. You played in the FIBA America Championship, where you lost in finals against Team USA. So in your team, you played with one of the best guards of the planet right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and against
Mm.
NBA stars like Michael Porter Jr. or Trey Young. I guess it was an incredible experience. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, it was. That was about, I think we were 18 at the time or 17. It was a while back, but it was pretty crazy because just knowing like I was with all these good guys and I'm playing against them and I'm considered one of the best two in the world. It was a unique
Yeah.
type of feeling, as you can see now, all those guys are some big, powerhouse names. So it was definitely fun to obviously be with them and be there too. But it was a good little challenge too, just to see where I was at too. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you stayed in touch with some of these guys? Maybe Shai Gilgeous Alexander? I guess he's really busy.
Yeah, I don't. If I see him, like I'll say hi and stuff. Like he knows who I am, but we don't really talk like that, if that
Okay,
makes sense.
I understand, yes. So you still have in mind to maybe some days get back in the national team? We saw at the Geo that now Canada is one of the best team of the world. Is that a goal for you?
Yeah, anytime I have the chance to play for my country, I'll always take that opportunity, whether that's qualifying games, whether that's for the main games, whether that's the Amir Cup, anything. If I have a chance to play for my country, I'll always take it. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming games and to see where I'll get a chance to play. And obviously, if I don't, I'll be there cheering them on.
Yeah. Okay. So you played in NCAA in Georgetown. The funny thing is that you played for the famous center of the Knicks, Patrick Ewing. What was it like to play for such a legend?
Oh, it was amazing. Honestly, I was there for 4 years. His first year was my first year. So it was a unique type of environment because he's coming straight from the NBA to college. So it was new for him too. But it was cool. It was great. Just learning from him every day, being with him for 4 years straight every day, picking his brain, seeing how hard he worked to get where he was at, and just to tell us what to do just to be great. It was a huge opportunity that not everyone can say they got that type of chance while they were in college. So it was good. My last year there was our best year. We won the Big East championship. So just having the opportunity to win for the college and for him too, it was a great feeling. So, but yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, I guess I mean we can't imagine, but that's
Yeah.
incredible. And he was a center. You are a guard. What did you really learn from him?
Um, I'll usually ask him just about the pick and roll game because obviously he was a big saying the pick just to see like what type of angles he would want his guards coming off to, I guess, be able to attack or pass to him. So just little stuff like that, just to see how the NBA game was for him and just to see how it would help me back in college.
Okay. So you played pretty good in your senior year, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough for you to get drafted. Back then,
hmm
what was your plan when you knew that you weren't going to be a draft for the next of your career?
Looking to come to Europe. That was the next step. That was always the backup plan out of college. So I did a couple draft workouts, and then unfortunately, I didn't get picked, but I had the opportunity to go to Greece a couple weeks after and start my overseas career. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that you only played one game in Greece, but
hmm
you talked about Europe as your backup plan. What did you know before coming to Europe about European basketball?
Honestly, if I'm going to be quite honest, not that much. 'Cause I was so focused on the NBA, I didn't really know anything about overseas. It took me, I want to say, I got out of college 2021, 2024, maybe last year when I started to really understand the overseas life, the different leagues, the countries, like just all the leagues in each country, the players. I want to say last year is when I started to get more familiar with everything. So it took me like a solid 2 years, honestly. But I didn't really know much out of college.
Yeah. Let's say you began your career really in Finland. It was your first experience,
hmm
I guess. You discovered, you said it's a new type of basketball, a new culture, a new environment, maybe also really far from
hmm
your friends and your family. How did you adapt and how did you live in this situation?
Um, adapting wasn't like off the court. Adapting wasn't that bad because obviously in college I was away from home too for 4 years, so I was kind of used to being away from my home. So that wasn't really the problem. Um, Adapting to the time change was a problem in terms of sleeping on time, waking up on time, just stuff talking, being able to talk to my friends back home. Like that was probably the only challenge. But on the court, um, first couple days I would say was a challenge. Obviously, it's always a challenge to go to a new team, new faces, learn how they play, try to like fit into their system. But after a few days, I kind of got used to it. But other than that, I think the main challenge was just the time change for me personally.
For us who live in France, we don't really think about that when rookie players
Yeah.
are coming in Europe. It's quite surprising for me to hear that. I thought you were gonna talk about the different rules to adapt to a different kind of basketball, but we um, we don't talk that much about the time change for talking to families, friends, and I guess it's really important to.
Yeah. In terms of the basketball rules, while I was in Finland, I didn't really see or feel a big difference from the college game to the Finland league personally. I could be wrong speaking with other people, but for my like type of experience, I didn't really see anything different.
Okay. Okay. Did you maybe talked to some other players that you knew that also went from NCAA to Europe?
Yeah. I have a few friends who are down here too. So when I first started over here, I just picked their brain, just asked them certain questions and on the court, off the court questions, just to see how they adapted to it, just to see if that can help me too. So for sure, I definitely reached out to a few friends.
Okay. And so after that, for the past 2 years, you played mostly in Canada and a bit in Mexico. Can you tell me
Hmm.
how did you ended up signing with Poitiers during last summer?
How did I end up signing?
Yeah.
Um, it's a funny story. I was supposed to go to Poitiers last Christmas because
Yes,
somebody on the
it
team
was,
unfortunately got hurt,
yeah.
and I was supposed to replace him. But all in all, it just didn't really fall through, and I ended up staying home, which led me to go to Mexico 2 months after. And then this past summer, Coach Andy reached back out and said he's been watching me. He's still interested, and if I wanted the opportunity, and I told him yes, no brainer, like I'll take it. And I guess they were just following me along throughout, I guess, last year Christmas till about summer. If that makes sense. And yeah, I told them we can get on a call, see what they have to offer, talk it out, and the conversation obviously went well because I'm here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So on the phone, what did it tell you that convinced you for signing with Poitiers? I guess maybe there were some other teams that wanted you. So what made the difference for you to come in Poitiers?
It's important for me that he came back. He messaged me a couple months later, still telling me he's been watching me, still telling me he's still interested. So that just clicked in my brain, just to know that he really wants me and he's giving me a great opportunity in a great league in a great country. So I didn't really think twice, like why not? Like I think coming to France, playing in this league, having the opportunity to play for this team was all I really needed. And for me, opportunity is really big. And I feel like the coach Andy and the coaching staff has given me a great opportunity so far, and I'm more than happy to be here.
Okay. So before you came, what did you know about the level of basketball in France of the second division, which is considered as one of the best second divisions in Europe?
Before talking to Coach Andy, honestly, nothing. Like I said, I'm still trying to get familiar with the overseas lifestyle and the different leagues and teams and countries. But after talking with Coach Andy, he said the same thing. ProB is probably one of the best second leagues in the world, and why not come join it if I have the opportunity? And he wasn't lying because this is a really great league. It's a tough league, and I feel like there's a different challenge every game, and I think that's helping me and helping my teammates too.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your season in Poitiers right now. At the beginning of the season, what were your goals as a team, and do you think the team is still on track to achieve them?
Our goal is to make playoffs. Obviously we want to win the whole thing, but you can't just jump to the very top. You have to take steps first. So last year they were explaining how they didn't make playoffs. So this year our goal is to make playoffs and then make a run in the playoffs. So right now our only focus is to win games, win as many games as possible, and just make playoffs and have the opportunity to play there and see what it's like. So
Yeah.
that's our main goal.
Okay. So you talk about playoff. A small, that is not that small difference in the organization of the championship this year. There is a play-in system like in NBA. Is it something that you're already used to because you watch the NBA?
Yes and no. They were telling me about all the new rules that came in. The last two teams go in the lower league. The
Yeah.
first place team bumps up to Pro A, and then I think from like 2 to 6 are the first make the playoffs, and
Yes.
then I think 7 to 10 are the play-in, if I'm
Yeah.
correct.
Yes, that's
So
it.
it's a lot going on, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. I think we're currently as we speak, I think we're ninth right now, so we're in the play-in. So so far we're doing better than last year. So we just got to keep it up and keep climbing and keep getting better every day. So yeah.
Yeah, what is really great about following and watching this league is that every game is a fight. Every
Oh
game
yeah,
is really difficult, and that's pretty fun to watch as a viewer.
absolutely. Yeah, my teammates have been telling me that like the first place team can lose to the 14th team if
Yeah.
they're like anything's possible. They're like, don't think because this team's 8-1 and the next team's 3-6 that they're gonna easily win. Like it's like anything could happen. So and I've seen it so far. So it's definitely possible. So
Yeah. So now let's talk about your performance. 10 games have been played, and you were the top scorer of the league just before Friday games. Is this individual award a goal for you?
um being the top scorer, I wouldn't say it was an individual award. I just like to score the basketball and I feel like that's my strongest suit. And like I said, just back to the opportunity, Coach Andy has given me a big opportunity and just been working out so far. And yeah, it's been going pretty well, but I wouldn't say it's an individual goal to be the top scorer, but scoring the basketball is just what I like to do. So
Yeah. Would you say right now you're satisfied with your season?
no, I'm not. I think I can do a little bit better. I always think I can do better in terms of everything, scoring the ball, passing the ball, rebounding, shooting the ball better. So I always look at my stuff and see that there can always be room to get better at. And even as a team, we're 5-5 now. We could be better. We could be we could have maybe 3 losses or 2 losses, but things happen and you can't really dwell on it. But I feel like there's always room to get better.
Yeah.
So
On what aspects of your game do you think you need to improve now?
um, that's a good question. A bit of everything. I think I can get good at rebounding better, passing better, less turnovers, shooting the ball better. My percentage they have to go up. I feel like I'm not been shooting the greatest. I know I can do better because I've done better in the past. So, just going back to watching film, seeing where I need to do to get better will help too. But yeah, I think that's overall what I think I need to get better at.
Okay.
And obviously just finding my teammates in the right spot too. It's not always about me. If they play better, then obviously the team does does better too. So yeah, those are the things for sure.
Okay. You said earlier that you like to watch D'Angelo Russell or James Harden. What do you
hmm
specifically watch about them, and what do you want to reproduce?
James Harden, I usually watch how he creates his own shot. how he draws fouls. I think it's a talent the way he can draw fouls. People don't really understand that, and I've been watching a lot of clips on how he draws fouls. Even Shea, I watch how Shea draws fouls too. I feel like seeing the basketball go in from the free throw line can keep you going too. And it's not only shooting tough field goals. Getting there can help your game and help your confidence too. So just watching them how they create their own shots, and then D'Angelo Russell, just to see how crafty he is, how he comes off the pick and roll, making passes, making plays, whether that's him scoring or whether that's him passing the ball. I feel like that's great a great skill that he has, and I try to take that from his game too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and you talked too about Mike James and Kendrick Nunn, which are, I guess, models because they are also playing in Europe.
absolutely. Yeah, Kendrick Nunn, he's a lefty too, just like me. So I definitely try to take a little bit of his gameplay. He's a great scorer too. And Mike James, I don't know if I can take stuff from his game. The way he plays and the way type of shots he makes. I don't know. I think those are some tough shots. I don't think I want
Yeah.
to try and take that from my from my games. So I think he has that one.
Yeah. So as I said, only 10 games have been played right now, but have there been any players that you have faced this season that really impressed you? You can talk to
Um,
your teammates, but I don't want to create any trouble between you.
other than my teammates, honestly, any players that stood out in the past 10 games? Honestly, no. Like one individual player, I want to say no. A lot of great teams though. Like I think these teams down here play well as a team, and everyone does what they have to do to win. But there hasn't really been a player like no one like I don't think anyone's bad now. I just don't think there's been one guy that I can say, oh my gosh, like he's really good or he killed us today. Like that hasn't really happened yet. But like I said, we got 38 games, so we're only on game 10. There's enough time for that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The funny thing is that on Tuesday, we are Sunday, on Tuesday, you're gonna play at Rouen. Rouen is the city where I was born, so obviously
Oh really?
at the end of the video, I wish you a good luck for your individual performance, but I hope Rouen is gonna beat you.
Fair enough. That's your city. That's your team. Go ahead. I can't hate. I can't hate.
And you talked about that it's maybe more the teams that were really good. Which teams have impressed you?
Um, it's hard. I'm trying to get used to the team names too now. Bolazak, if I'm saying it correctly.
Yes, 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 yes.
Bolazak, I think we played them last week Friday, not this past Friday, but the week after. They're really good. They're really good as a team. You can just see they play well as a team. They understand each player's game, where they're good at on the court. They play a great team defense. I think that's probably out of the first 10 games, that's the one team that I can say like really stood out to me in terms of how they play on offense and how they play on defense as a team. So
Yeah.
Bull is that for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's a team that is really used to play together. So
Mm-hmm.
it really counts here in Europe and especially in ProB. There are some clubs that change of players every year, and obviously
Yeah.
for the collective game. So coming from an NCAA background, what differences do you notice between playing in the US and in France? You talked a bit about that when you were in Finland, but did
Mm-hmm.
some differences with the French championship?
Um, Way more physical. Tell you that for sure. Way more physical. The refs let a lot of things slide here than in college. Like in college, you can't even college you can't touch nobody. Like your hands have to be like one little touch, foul. One thing, foul, foul. They make sure to call fouls here. you can get away with a little bit of stuff here. So I've noticed that in the first 10 games, the physicality is definitely way higher than college for sure. That's the main two things I can say. Like I can tell, like, I can see it. Like, that's a big change.
That's really interesting. Do you watch some
Mm.
Betclic Elite, the first division games?
No, I don't. I mean, I haven't sat down and watched any, but I keep like I'll go on my phone and look like who beat who and stuff. But I haven't really watched
Okay.
any games so far. But I
Yes.
know a couple teams in there. Like I just know the league and stuff. But yeah.
Yes, the Euroleague teams, maybe Asvel
Hmm.
and Paris. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now let's talk a bit about yourself. What do you like to do? What do you like to do outside of basketball?
Off the court.
Yeah.
I'm a real basic chill guy. I'll come here, watch TV, watch Netflix, play my video games, call my friends, have some family time. I don't really do too much. I'm really simple, honestly. Those things will keep me distracted. And as long as I have some good Wi-Fi, I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay.
Okay. What do you watch? What do you like to watch as a TV shows?
TV shows I'm watching, I watch Power.
Okay.
Um, waiting for Squid Games to come out. Season two is coming out shortly, so I'm waiting for that. I'm actually currently watching Monsters right now on Netflix, the documentary
Okay.
of the two brothers. I'm watching that, keeping me busy, and just playing video games. I play NBA 2K, I play Call of Duty with my friends, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. I'm trying to get better at FIFA and Madden. I'm not the greatest at those two games, which is why I didn't say that. But I'm slowly starting to play those games just to get better at them. But yeah,
Okay, so you play in 2K. Well,
yeah,
maybe we can send a message for your future opponents in ProB, or maybe the opponents
yeah.
that against you who you already played. If they want to take their revenge over you, especially guards, maybe.
Yeah, tell them let's do it. Let's do it.
So you said that you cannot watch NBA because because of the time here. But
Hmm.
which teams do you support in NBA? Do you have one team in particular that you really like?
Honestly, that's not a good question. I wouldn't say I have a favorite team. Whichever teams my friends are on, I just want them to honestly win. To be honest, that's pretty much about it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have a couple of friends on certain teams, so if their team wins, then I'm fine.
yeah. When you were a child, maybe you had one team.
Oh yeah, as a kid, I was a fan of the Miami Heat with
Yeah.
Bron when he was there. Even Bron now on the Lakers, just Bron. I guess I'm a big Bron fan, so any team he goes on, I kind of want them to get the little bit of the edge.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. What are your plans now for your future? I know we are just at the beginning of the season, but maybe you have a plan. You talked about NBA, you talked about EuroLeague. What are your plans for your career?
um, Plans just to keep elevating in terms of I guess teams, leagues, whether that's over here, whether that's in the NBA. I don't really sit down and think about the big picture, but I know if I do what I have to do here, then the plans in the future will open up. So just focusing on here first.
Yeah, step by step. But would you
Mhm.
like right now to stay in France, maybe in the following years?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like France is a good spot, especially for my family too, and just for me too, in terms of food, in terms of people. And it's not too far from home. I was in Greece before that time difference a little bit longer. So I feel like this is a good little spot where I can elevate my basketball. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, maybe if one of your goals for the future is to come back in NBA, well, to go in the NBA, we really often say that the French championship is more likely to be the one in Europe that really looks like the NBA because the players are really good individually. This is really athletic. So maybe I think the French championship, especially the first division, is
Hmm.
fit for players that are aspiring to play in the NBA.
No, well, hopefully, yeah.
So thank you, Jahvon. Do you have a special message that you would like to say to followers of Poitiers?
Just keep supporting us, keep following us. We're doing our best. We're trying to make everyone proud and trying to get these wins, just trying to rack up every win and just take it step by step.
Yes, thank you. And as I told you, I wish you a very good luck for your next game individually. I hope you score a lot of points, but at the end, I know that one is gonna win.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.